Hello and welcome back to the Dugout podcast. This is episode number 101, and I am joining you today from Scotland, but I am joined with my USA correspondent, Ethan Barlow, over in Boston. He's been having a great time over there. He was obviously at the game. He was at the baseball last night. Ethan, how have you been enjoying your time in the States before we get into everything Scotland?
Yeah, it's been excellent. It's been everything I think us as the travelling Scotland fans could have wished for. We've been very well received, as I'm sure you've seen online, and it's been excellent. Really welcoming. There's a few things I'll get onto which are disappointing, which I think should be brought up, and I think they have been brought up and and by large groups of the Scotland fans. But excellent so far. Obviously, great to get the experience of the baseball last night and the atmosphere, and obviously great to win the match as well. The opening game against Haiti, which we had so much expectation to get over the line. We'll get on to all the ins and outs of that game and obviously previewing the next one on Friday against Morocco. But yeah, just excellent to obviously be here and for Scotland to. It feels like relief now amongst the Scotland fans, and I'm sure you feel the same back home that we've got that win over the line now, and now we can sort of see what we can do against which is going to be two really difficult games as we've seen them play before. Obviously, we played, so yeah, brilliant, and looking forward to discussing it. As well as the other games briefly, but largely focusing on Scotland, of course.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Looks absolutely amazing over there. I'm well jealous. Every clip I see, it just seems that everyone's having a good time. They're sort of gelling with the locals really well. They're gelling with other supporters. I mean, I even saw after the Haiti game, fans were out together, sort of just having a good time, partying, that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm well jealous of you, Ethan. But yeah, should we just dive right in, start on Scotland? Um,
Yeah, we could, or we could speak about the tournament, the rest of the team. It's whatever you want to start with. Obviously, as we're recording this, I think we're both watching one of the favourites, Spain, would struggle. I think it'd be fair to say against Cape Verde towards the end of the first half, and I think this is the start of the second half of group. So we're only halfway through the first round of matches, which is crazy. And I think it, to be fair, slow start. I think for some of the games, not the best, especially some of the games towards the start. But I think some of the games yesterday were really good watches from what I've seen and what I've heard. So yeah, I think that the tournament's heating up and hopefully it continues.
yeah, I mean, I'm watching Spain as well, like you said. There has been some really entertaining games. I mean, Sweden, the other day. I think we've got some good moments already. I mean, even the opening game of the tournament, Ethan, absolutely crazy. Three red cards.
Yeah, not the best game. I don't think in terms of an even match. I think South Africa, in fairness, one of the most disappointing sides I would say so far, based on just how they performed, and they never really caused Mexico any problems at all. But credit the host for getting the job done. But yeah, three red cards were crazy, and I think there was only
What
four.
did you make of Mexico's red card?
Mexico's red card, I think it's well, I don't know. It's difficult. It's one that could go either way, I think. But once he gives it as the red card, oh, Spain nearly scored there. Sorry. I, I think once he gives it as the red card, then I don't see it getting turned over. But yeah, I think you can make the case for either way. But it just and maybe it could be the case of balancing it up after which the second South Africa red card, which I think in fairness was the really soft one. I know it's a hand in the face, but I think he's just trying to. I think it was Wayne that was just trying to sort of get the defender off him. I think it's really unfortunate. The first one's obviously a red card, but yeah, three in one match is crazy considering we've only had, I think, four at the last two or three tournaments across the whole tournament. Obviously, we've not had any more since, unless I'm forgetting one. So yeah, I think it sets an interesting precedent for the rest of the tournament. But these these sort of new rules and stuff like that always do. They're always very well enforced. It seems in the World Cup compared to when they're introduced into sort of league football or club football, which is good. I've seen a video, you might have seen it, of Andy Robertson getting round the sort of throw-in rule, the 5 seconds that starts once the ball's in your hand. So he had the ball on the floor waiting for the Scotland players to get in position, and then he picked the ball up and picked out his man that he was throwing it to, which was interesting. And yeah, but I thought they were interesting decisions. What did you make of them yourself?
Um, so just leading off what you were saying about, I'll talk about the new rules. I like the 10-second sub rule, because there's nothing worse than when you're trying to get a game going and a guy's wandering from the other side of the pitch. He takes maybe a minute to get across. Just on the decisions in the first game, um, I thought the slap was like a straight red. I thought commentary were being really easy on them. I think it was Alan McCoy saying, "Oh, he's just tried to pull him out of the way and he's accidentally hit him." No, I didn't think so. He already had a hold of his jersey, and for me, he just turns around and hits him in the face. He looks at him, he takes a good look at him, and just turns around and whacks him. So I think
Yeah,
that's a straight red. The Mexico one was debatable. You could argue he was going away from goal. But would they have got onto it? He was going in, he was travelling into the box. Is it a clear denial of a goal scoring opportunity? I can see why it's been given. And like you said, the other one's a red card. So yeah, I think it's some interesting decisions, some big upsets as well already. I think one last night you could point to, for people who maybe are only looking on the face of it, is Japan drawn with the Netherlands. Obviously, I think a big upset for me was Ivory Coast beating Ecuador. Um,
not an upset for me. I think in the predictions I probably said Ecuador would finish above Ivory Coast, but I think people underestimated Ivory Coast. We obviously seen them play against Scotland, and I thought they were excellent. And I think you've seen that. I mean, obviously there wasn't much in the game. Ahmad Diallo gets the late winner, but yeah, two really good teams. And I think if you're looking at the performances so far for three teams, and Curacao obviously. On the wrong side of a really heavy defeat to Germany. But even still, I thought they had moments in the game and were somewhat better than. I mean, it sounds difficult to say when they've lost 7-1, but teams like themselves and Haiti, who we'll get on to, who are in actually the same qualifying group, have performed a lot better than I expected of them, and I think that's what we've seen from some of the minnows, which we had no expectation for, like the likes of Qatar, that are performing well and keeping up with the big sides, which is great to see and
and
what the
just
World Cup's all about.
just finally before we move on, um, to the Scotland game, the dark horses of every tournament, Turkey getting beat
Yeah,
again off of Australia. Tremendous defensive and goalkeeping performance from the Aussies, and obviously some nice goals as well. Um, Really disappointing again, Ethan. From this, what do you think the score is with this Turkish national team? They just kind of get it
I
right.
don't know. I don't know. It's a strange one. They always get the big build up and they just never seem to really deliver on it. And I think it's more a general point which we'll cover, but I think for the most part, maybe barring the Germans and the Swedes, the European sides have struggled in games where they would be not favourites to win, but I think play better. I think you've seen with Bosnia and Czech Republic as well. Obviously, Bosnia got the point in the end off of the hosts, but they didn't perform very well at all, either of them. I know they rely on heavily on set pieces, which we covered, but you've got to have some sort of game plan out with the set piece play, and I just don't think that they had that. And I think we've seen that. Oh, Spain nearly scored again. Sorry,
I think
but
I think you're ahead of me.
Yeah, possibly. I'm
Both
just in the final minute of the half.
both
Ferran Torres has just had a shot saved, but it looks like Cape Verde are going to get to the break at nothing each, which would be an excellent first half for them. But yeah, I think
you were good, Cape Verde.
what?
And you, Cape Verde.
Yeah, yeah, no, that was fair. That was one of your shouts. And I think we said about Sweden as well that they were going to be sort of the villains, and they've already quite crazy that there's been a managerial sacking in the World Cup already with the Tunisia boss
I didn't
being
see that.
given
Did
his
the
marching
Tunisia boss
orders.
get sacked?
Yeah, he's gone.
That's
Crazy.
mad.
Yeah. I suppose 5-1 to Sweden is a really poor result. And I think the African sides have been contrasting. There's been some that have been really impressive. I think Morocco and Ivory Coast in particular. And
Mm,
then, as I mentioned, South Africa and
Cape Verde.
Tunisia are really disappointing. Cape Verde right now, yeah, of course. Although there's still a half of football to be played, and we've seen what happened with Curacao yesterday. So,
Yeah.
we'll obviously we'll keep the viewers who will, of course, already know the score updated with our reactions if there is any goals in this game. But no, I think that's all from the games that have been played so far. I'm trying to think of anything else. The USA were excellent.
Yeah, they were
Brilliant
fantastic.
start from them, and really good as the host nation, as the major host nation with the most games being played, and of course a country that's never, from a majority point of view, never really been able to get into football. I think that's an excellent start for them, and hopefully it gets the nation behind the team, and they can go on. And really interesting game. I think Australia next for them, so the two winners. So yeah, that'll be a really good game. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
Flary and Balogun as well, absolutely excellent. And Gio Reyna with the cheeky Travella as well to top off the win. So it was a really, really
Yeah.
nice win for the USA. But anyway, all those minnows out the way. Let's talk about the real nation of this World Cup, the best nation. Scotland played Haiti in Boston. Ethan was there, and Ethan, you were witness to Scotland's first win at a World Cup since 1990, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was
Sorry, I nearly
36
said for
years.
some
Yeah,
reason. I nearly said 92, and I have no idea why. I think it's because the score was 2-1, and I was like meshing it. Yeah, so their first
yeah.
win since 1990. Before we get into the nitty gritty of the game, just what was it like?
Yeah, no, it was excellent, and as I said, everything that you could have wanted it to be. Obviously, going to the game, it's out of the way as we know that the Foxborough Stadium, the trains getting there, which were obviously the inflated price trains that were advised by,
What what
but
what did you pay for a train
the
to?
train ticket was $80.
Bloody hell, man!
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
really
eighty
just
dollars up from the usual 12, and the reason, you know what, before we get because I'm not going to come back to this, I'm going to try and keep it all in the one and stop being negative. But I think it's something that has to be addressed. And I've seen loads of sort of complaints online about it on the Tartan Army forums and stuff like that, and rightfully so. Getting there, the trains weren't great, but they done the job. I think they got everyone to the stadium, from what I've heard. They were delayed because the queuing and the sort of infrastructure and the planning just wasn't set up for that many fans to use the train. And I think it's been a problem that the New England Patriots have sort of discussed. Obviously, it's their ground that they've sort of pushed for years now, is that the stadium's not good enough to get to and from. I know there's a lot of I can't remember the word. It's escaping me at the moment, where you get a dedicated driver that drives to the stadium, and then you sort of have the parties out of the back of the
Yeah,
trucks and the cars.
designated driver, and then they go do tailgating.
Yeah, tailgating. That's the word I was looking for. But that's not obviously going to really happen as much with the Scotland fans. So there is a reliance to take trains and taxis or school buses, as some supporters obviously did. Everyone, I think, for the most part, got to the ground very early. There's a sort of street, almost like a town street outside the stadium, where there's loads of restaurants and bars with ridiculous queues. But everyone, I think, got into the stadium fine. From what I seen, getting out of the stadium after the game was horrendous. The worst thing I've ever seen coming out of a football match. And you know, uh, this wasn't a stadium that had 100,000 fans in it. It was a stadium that had 60,000 fans in it, which we see in Scotland almost every week. And yeah, they just, I don't think they really were prepared for what was coming. And I'm not even saying that as just Scotland fans. I think just having a full stadium and people just going to the stadium, obviously, to soak in the atmosphere that don't have tickets. The large queues outside of the stadium to get back onto the trains. Bear in mind, this would have been at around 11 o'clock. And yeah, you waited, me personally, waited 2 hours before we got on a train, which was ridiculous. There was obviously children there, families. There was children crying, and then there was people looking to get taxis back to the city of Boston, which is around 40 minutes to an hour away. And I think there was some drivers demanding fees up to $500 for taxi trips. So yeah, there was some people stranded that never get home until the early hours of the morning, or the later early hours of the morning in terms of 4 and 5 o'clock. So absolutely ridiculous, really, and that was disappointing. And I thought it was something that had to be addressed. But I don't want to take the shine off of what's been an excellent achievement from those players. And we've got an opportunity now, or sorry, the organisers of the tournament have got an opportunity to right the wrongs. Whoever's responsible, the New England Patriots, sort of people who allocate the stewards, have got the opportunity now. Obviously, tomorrow, as we're recording this, Norway will play Iraq in the second game at that ground. You hope that would be better, and then of course when Friday comes, we hope it's not the same story which it was the other night. But I thought that was just something that I had to address, because I think it was poor, and obviously it's all about as you would like to see that it's the great news and the fan interactions of Scotland fans in Boston, but behind all of that was some not very nice scenes. But yeah, I think we should get back to the football, and I should stop being negative. But
No, it's an important point to bring up. I mean, that sounds horrendous. And also, as well, you just speaking about prizes, there's been a lot of discussion about how this is not a tournament for your sort of regular fan, if you know what I mean. Like, because, you know, like, no, by no means, Ethan, are you and your dad millionaires? You know what I mean?
yeah,
You're pouring a lot of your money into this to go and support your country, and it's absolutely crazy. It's I think it's denying access to a lot of supporters. I mean, I can't even imagine what you guys spent on tickets. And I remember watching a video, obviously very big YouTuber, away days, Ellis Platten, him and his mates went to USA's game, and the cheapest seats they could find were $700 a piece, and they couldn't even afford to bring the cameraman in because they couldn't, like, they didn't have the budget, so they like left the cameraman outside. They had to go in without him because they couldn't afford to get him a ticket. It's absolutely crazy, and that's a guy who is like, he's doing all right for himself. He's not a millionaire either, but he's quite successful. So
and it's an investment on his job. That he's going to the game to um, to do his job and affect. Obviously, we're going as supporters as the leisure sort of aspect, but no, some of the ticket prices have been astronomical and just is ridiculous. And I think we knew that. This isn't something new that we've learned, but I think you've just seen it more emphasised at the tournament. And there has been games. The one that comes to mind was the Czech Republic South Korea game, where there was a lot of empty seats in that game, because there's no encouragement for neutral fans really to go. Of course, you'll get a few that will go, but it's meant to be. It was once the game
it's
of the working class, and it's
it's
far
a
from that
hassle.
anymore.
It's a hassle as well, though, for like neutral fans, like because like because a lot of the stadiums are situated in places that are difficult to get to.
Yeah,
Like you speak about last night, Ethan. If you no, sorry, not last night, 2 nights ago, if you're a supporter, or if you just want to go and watch, if you're living in Boston, right, and you're like, oh, gonna go see a World Cup game, you look at the price and go, nah. Or you look, or maybe you've bought the ticket, or maybe you're going to buy the ticket and you're looking like, oh no, the trains and the blah blah blah. It's just going to be like, difficult for anyone to get like, because like we've all been it before. Maybe we've been away somewhere and you're like, oh, is there football on anywhere? Go and watch a local football match. If I was on holiday and in Boston, I had nothing to do with Scotland, and I was thinking, oh, maybe try and go see a World Cup game. Those elements would just put you off.
yeah, no, of course, and I think that's been excellent to see. Also, on the flip side, that so many since I've been here, so many Americans, people from Canada, and it's sometimes joked about, but they're very proud in this part of the world of their ancestors and where they were from, and some of them got the sort of Scottish links and excuse to support
What
Scotland.
what clan are you from, bro?
Yeah, yeah, and they are it's been excellent to see the support for the national team out with obviously the people coming across from Scotland. And I spoke to a young family before the match, actually from North Carolina, I believe they were from, if my memory serves me correct, and they had came over. It was a dad and the three children, and he was saying they weren't the sort of biggest football fans, but I think all the children played, and I think that was a really excellent experience for them, for the father to take them to their first World Cup game.
Ah,
And
but
but
fake Scots getting tickets. They could have gone to real ones. Oh.
I don't. They weren't claiming to be Scottish, although they did say their name was Ferguson. So, um, but
No,
no, but he said that also he couldn't bring his wife to the game because they couldn't get another ticket. So there's these kind of issues. But yeah, I think this is just modern day football, isn't it? We need to we obviously understand it and why it's like this, but that doesn't mean that we can't
I need to start saving
point
up.
out when it's wrong.
I need to start saving up money just to go to a
For the
football.
next World Cup,
Eh?
save up 4 years for the next World Cup.
What is the
And
next one?
Scotland are there.
Is the next one Saudi Arabia?
No, that's the following one. The next one is Morocco, Spain, and Portugal.
Hmm, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming up, but that maybe also presents an issue in terms of travel. But anyway,
What place doesn't? What place doesn't? Anyway, yeah. As you were about to thingy, back to the football and how great Scotland
we
are.
got Mcginn. Oh, Super
So,
John Mcginn.
John again.
I
I
just
think that song has
what's
been
that?
sung quite a lot by the Scotland fans here, and rightfully so. An excellent moment for John McGinn. And yeah, 28th minute as well, wasn't it? Which feels
What was it?
very
I didn't
coincidental.
even clock that. 20.
Yeah, I think it was 28th minute, 28 years on from our last appearance. So yeah, written in the stars, some would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Just in terms of the game, initial thoughts on Haiti, Ethan. I thought they were much better than I anticipated. I thought they did defend really, really well. They kept a really good shape. They're obviously comfortable letting Scotland have the ball. When they broke, they looked dangerous. Although there was periods of play where Haiti were comfortable on the ball themselves. Um, got a lot of experience at the back. I've
No, no, no.
been,
He
I've,
was
I've
he
been,
was excellent
yeah, it was.
experience. I thought he was one of their standout players, but they were really they were really solid, and as you said, a lot better than I expected. And no, I think some of that, of course, is down to, as we'll get on to, how their opponents played. But I think they were, as I said, some teams have came and really, I think you underestimate them, but these teams have got to a World Cup for a reason. They're not mugs. They're going to turn up and know how to play.
Yeah,
And I thought they had some.
also as well, I think there's this misguided notion the maybe the worst the worst sort of footballing nations are just going to show up to make up the numbers. You know, people think they're just going to turn up and be like, on you go, score 6 goals. They're there to play. They're there to represent their country as much as the Scotland boys are there to represent Scotland. You know, it's national pride all round. So yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to show up and they're going to make a good go of it.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a good number of Haitians in attendance, obviously well outnumbered by the Scots, as you would have seen. But you know, they love their football just as well. I would say just as much as us, because I don't think anyone loves their football as much as Scottish people. But they were getting behind the team. It was actually a really disappointing. Sorry to bring up another uh, negative story, but there was a two Haitian supporters sitting next to me and my dad that didn't get actually in the stadium until the second half because of some issues with their ticket, which was really terrible. And I think the Haiti fans are probably proud of how their team played, because I thought they were excellent and really deserved to not only maybe take something from the game, but on another occasion win the game. We spoke about I think Providence has been one of the standouts in the sort of build up to the tournament, but I actually thought it was maybe the other winger, the Lucius, on the right hand side, who really caused problems. The two strikers had their moments as well.
Providence was too busy trying out for Olympic diving the whole game.
Yeah, no, there was some simulation, in fairness, but no, they were really impressive and unlucky not to get anything, and it maybe poses the question: can they catch a Brazil or a Morocco off guard and maybe get a goal or get a result? Because you know we've seen upsets already this tournament, and yeah, they're certainly a good team, and I thought maybe watching it in real time, I was just seeing it as Scotland being poor and really. But watching the highlights back, I think I really appreciated that they were a good technical side on
The
top of
funny
being
things
physically
the funny
really
thing was,
strong.
Scotland, I didn't think were that bad. Sort of overall performance, I thought there were some really poor individual performances, and I'll bring them up. But I didn't think they were that bad. Haiti were good. I thought when Piero came on instead of I thought Isidore was poor when Piero came on up top. I thought he was much better. Maybe should have had
Piero started with Piero
did he?
started.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was half asleep, man. So I thought Piero was better
No,
than
no, he was
Isidore
he
anyway.
was a problem, and that's it. And I think it was just touched on the broadcast for the Spain game. Is it before that match against Cape Verde? Is it just hit half time? It's still nothing each. That it doesn't always matter who these players play for at club level. It's about coming and represent your national team and playing how the manager wants you to play. And I think I would agree. I think Piero was the more sort of threatening of the two, and obviously had that big chance towards the end, which was probably the biggest one of the game that wasn't put away by either of the two sides, because it wasn't too many chances in the game. I don't think, apart from the one that comes to mind was John McGinn's shot, which he dragged wide in the second half. But yeah, it was a very tight game, and I think that's the way Scotland wanted it to play out.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we're Scots, but you know we're professionals, so it would be remiss of me if I didn't bring up three major talking points. Um, Refereeing decisions. Kerry McLean with a sort of boot to the knee of a Haitian player. A lot of people claiming he should have been sent off, and two handball incidents in the box. Who I think it was I think it was Grant Hadley on both occasions. So Ethan, we'll start on Kenny McLean. What did you make of this? Could he have or should he have been sent off?
It could have been. He certainly could have been, and that was my initial thought when I seen the challenge. I thought it was high, it was late, it was obviously nowhere near the ball, and I think he was lucky to stay on the pitch. But I don't think it was one that should cause an outcry. It was very late in the match, and I think it's another decision that could have went either way. For the two penalties, I will admit I've not seen them. The two penalty claims, sorry, I've not seen them back too many times, but I don't really think.
See when I saw them in real time, I thought the first one hit him like here, so it didn't really
Yeah.
matter because it was on his body. And the other one, I didn't think it hit his hand at all.
Was the one that hit his hand? Was that the one where his hand was down and was that a shot or a cross that flashed past the post?
Yeah,
Was that a different one?
he was trying to head it and it missed his head,
Yeah.
and his hand was like out, and I didn't think it hit his hand.
No, neither did I. I thought because I watched.
People have like freeze framed it where it looks like the ball's hit his hand, but I just think if you press play, you'd see it doesn't touch his hand.
Well, they do have the technology to see if it did hit his hand because obviously in the game last night they used that technology to award Sweden their fourth goal when they didn't know whether it had touched Alex Isak's boot. I can't remember what the technology is called again. It's escaping me. They use it in cricket, I believe. But yeah, it obviously didn't hit his hand. And I've seen. I think the Haitians are sort of they're in a meltdown over some of the decisions. But I think, in fairness, I don't think the especially the penalty claims really have they have too much of a leg to stand on.
Okay, so I think we'll move on now to Scotland's performance overall. Um,
What? Sorry, Alex. First of all, what did you make of the lineup that we started with?
Um, I've, I think it's what I would have gone with. I think for me, dropping Ferguson or Christie was a toss up because Mcginn had to be in there. I would have had McKenna in if he hadn't have picked up that injury just before. But I think it was the perfect lineup. Didn't work out that way.
No, I would, sorry, I would agree with you. I was just going to say that I think we know Scott McKenna was, I think, a bit of a doubt with the lack of minutes in the friendlies, but I'll give credit to Steve Clarke for maybe this and not this only, but I'm going to be critical of him at some point in this episode. But I think he got the Ferguson over Christie shout absolutely right, and
Just Ferguson was immense, wasn't he?
yeah, he was in that. I think he was arguably the best player on the pitch, quite possibly, or certainly. And I think,
Do you know who I thought was really good? I think this is the first time I've ever said this about him in a Scotland jersey. Thought Andy Robertson was amazing.
yeah, no, I thought he was good as well. He was getting forward. He was putting balls into sort of dangerous areas, and yeah, he was like the Andy Robertson which we got so used to at Liverpool, which I think we've been critical, especially of his performances not always living up to that standard. Of course, it's difficult when you're not playing in as good a team, but no, I thought he was one of the better players also. But yeah, Lewis Ferguson was the standout for me, and I think I said he was the standout against Denmark as well. So that's two performances back to back in massive games that he's really stood out and grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, you could say, in instances. And I think he's made himself an undroppable player for Steve Clarke, and all credit to him. I think there's a few Rangers fans, maybe including yourself, hoping that he moves to Glasgow. I think he's too good a player to move to the Scottish Premiership, in all honesty. But
The only way I could see that happen is if he like personally
yeah,
pushed for it. Um, but I think he's ready to step out of Bologna and go like to a top team. If he came to Rangers, I'd be in dreamland, absolute dreamland. But
yeah. I think he would be he would probably be right up there, if not the best player in Scotland. I think he is that level. These kind of performances on the stage that he's put them in, and yeah, I agree with you with the lineup. Though I think it was right. The two central defenders not ideal, I'll say, and I'll get on to why when we speak about the performance in a second. But yeah, I think he picked the best team that he could have done.
yeah, no, absolutely. And I think most of those guys were pretty good. Aaron Hickey had a good wee battle out on that side. John McGinn, obviously with the goal, I thought his link up on the left with Andy Robertson was really really good. Ben Gannon, you can see he's still very raw, but he never, do you know what I love about him? Any time he picks the ball up, he'll go forward, he'll run at you. He
Yeah,
might lose it 9 times out of 10, but that one time, obviously, he was crucial in creating the goal. Terrific cross. Adams with the shot saved by the goalkeeper comes out to John McGinn. Bit of a lucky deflection, but we'll take it.
I
Um,
think it might even been a couple of deflections,
yeah,
but certainly a deflection. But yeah, no, sorry, I forgot about Ben Gannon-Doak. I thought he was one of our standouts as well. As you said, just so positive and something that I think we struggle as Scots with footballers, and I think that's about encouraging them to keep challenging his defender, and that's where all our big chances came from. Ultimately, the goal comes down his side, the Scott McTominay strike off the post comes down his side, and yeah, I think we need to just keep getting the ball to him because
you
he's one
know,
of those players that.
do you know what I'm really happy about? Sorry to cut you off. That I
No,
think
not at all.
we've not seen in a long, long time, or maybe in our lifetime as Scotland fans, Ethan. We seem to be set up on the wings for a good few years now because I thought Curtis was really good when he came on as well.
Yeah, he played his part, and I think, to be fair, I think all the substitutes really played their part. I've spoken this to death when it comes to Steve Clarke, but why he waits so long to make those substitutions, I really don't know. I thought they could have came much earlier, even possibly at half time, because Scotland just. I know the 4-4-2 was the correct formation to go for, and I agreed with it because we played really well in the friendlies with it, but. I think you could see evidently, based on the first half, that it just wasn't working. Shanklin and Adams weren't in the game enough
They
for
were
them
dreadful.
to play.
They were so bad. I thought Shea Adams was just not in the game. I don't think he was as bad as Lawrence Shanklin because when Shanklin did get the opportunities to maybe hold it up or get a shot off or do what we know he can do. I thought his touches were so poor. He was making bad decisions. I thought maybe the occasion got to him a little bit. But it wasn't the Lawrence Shanklin we know.
Yeah, no, I'd completely agree with that. And, it's maybe been a little bit harsh on them because they both had little service at points. And credit Shea Adams for the goal because obviously he has that really nice touch to bring it down from the long ball and then he gets across the front post and makes the keeper make a really solid save. But yeah, I think Lawrence Shankland, I agree. He was probably more in the overall game, but just wrong decisions at times. And yeah, there was actually a few times, maybe only once certainly I can remember where he actually he misplaced a pass and it led to a sort of Haiti attack. And yeah, I think all the players sort of had their moments. I think Scott McTominay was largely a passenger by his excellent standards. Obviously had that strike off the post, but he just wasn't himself. And he's coming back from the illness, which made him a doubt for the game. So you're hoping that that's maybe why he was like that, and that he's going to burst into life. But I think also the role he was playing in is just not really one that suits him. And the flat two in midfield, I don't think it worked at all. I just McTominay wants to get
I think
forward.
that puts too much defensive responsibility on him. Uh,
Yeah, it does. It does, and he doesn't. What you can see, he doesn't want to do that. And I imagine Steve Clarke's probably gave McTominay, our best player, the freedom to go wherever he wants in the field when we've got the ball, especially. But we're getting caught with him up the pitch. He's as we like to say, a box crashing eight, and he's not really able to do that. Especially when we've got the two up front and we've only got Ferguson behind him. And I think that's why Lewis Ferguson was so impressive because sometimes he was just he was a one man midfield and he had to do all the sort of anchoring and defence himself. And I think he done an excellent job
the
to
Lanark, the Lanark Shankanti.
yeah, no, he was immense. But I think at half time he's got to take off one of the strikers and bring on Ryan Christie. I think, and obviously he sort of maybe done that later on in the game. But yeah, we could have conceded a goal in that time because Haiti were impressive, and I think they got stronger and we got weaker as the game actually went on.
Yeah, no, absolutely they did. They had some good opportunities, like we mentioned. Piero, really unlucky with that header, just a whisker wide. But Scotland did manage to hold on despite those opportunities. Um, Ethan, you mentioned earlier you had some points about the centre backs that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, yeah. I think, as I said, with Scott McKenna out and sort of as we spoke about John Souttar's regression in form and not starting for Rangers, I think they were the two standouts to start in the back two. They obviously played pretty well against Bolivia. Can't really take much from that though. And I think defensively, I think they were both pretty impressive. I think Jack Hendry especially made some really important blocks. There was one he did get awarded a foul for it in the end, but it was crossed to the back post and he sort of flicked the header away from the Haiti attacker. I thought he was
Yeah,
really good.
that was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was really good out of possession, as both of them were. I think just on the ball, though, they're not good enough players on the ball, especially when you're playing against a team who's going to sit in and make it difficult. And the two banks are four like they did. And I'm not saying that we're playing in a low block by any means, Haiti, but as we spoke about, they were well set up to deal
Do
with
you know
what
what's
we were coming at.
interesting? Do you know what's interesting? This, it could be an interesting point. You mentioned John Suter there, who plays in a ball dominant side. Obviously, his form. I agree. Like I don't think he should have been selected. But I
Yeah,
do think maybe um, it's something the manager could have looked at and went, John's used to this. You know what I mean. And
yeah.
he's I think his long ball accuracy is ridiculous. John Suter, he's really good at playing out from the back.
Yeah, and I think that would have just been the thing for this game because I don't think we're going to see as much possession maybe against Morocco and
Oh,
Brazil.
no, we've seen the last of the ball.
Yeah, which is good because I don't think we, as we've seen a number of times, we're not a good team when we have to break the opposition down. We're good on the counter attack, and obviously that's sort of where the goal comes from. I know it's not the first phase of a counter attack, but it's sort of recycled long ball up to Adams. But yeah, I just think the two central defenders was a lot of reliance on them to bring the ball out from the back, and they just struggled with it. It's not really either of their games, which is why, as you said, maybe a John Suter would have suited better for this match, or as I've cried out for a while, Kieran Tierney. But then again, off the ball, the physicality dealing with those two strikers, does he
Well,
make the?
I've got a lineup that I think we should play against Morocco, and I'll give you a wee spoiler. He has featured.
Oh, interesting. I think I might know the route you're going down, but we'll obviously get to that. But no, I think credit to the players though, because we're giving them criticism, some of them for their performances, but ultimately they got the job over the line, and that's what we've seen this nation fail to do so many times in the past, especially at these tournaments. So yeah, they defended well when they had to, and yeah, credit to everyone involved for getting the 3 points, but it was far from pretty, and I think we'll need to be a lot better if we want to take anything from the following two matches.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Have you?
Sorry, the subs. What did we make of the subs? I think I know I said they were probably quite late, but I think they all come on and made a positive impact.
Thought the subs were good. I've actually got one of the subs starting against Morocco. I think it just the type of game it is. So I think it it lends itself to his.
But I think maybe more than one sub because there's one sub that I think has to start the next game. Ryan Christie, I think he has to start the next game. I think he's too good a player to
I don't have him
start.
in
Okay, this is going to be another one of your wacky lineups, but I love it. But no, I think as you said,
I've been thinking about it, and it's really tough. But we might need to. I might need to sacrifice someone just for how the game is. Although I don't know if I'd want to, because there's positives and negatives for this player, and the way I think we should line up. But I don't know if I could shoehorn him in and be as sure as I would be in terms of a midfield and stuff like that. So, I think I probably would have Christie in there or this player instead. And it's a toss up. So
okay, is the player a striker that you're thinking of?
no,
That's a lineup.
you're going to be so. Should I just tell you what I think my lineup should be, and then we can do.
Yeah, yeah, that. Don't leave any more to the imagination. Just tell us.
Okay, so I've got Angus Gunn,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna go with the five.
Yeah,
Um,
I want that out. Yeah,
Kieran Tierney, sort of obviously that left centre back role. Probably well, if McKenna's fit,
all right.
I'd have McKenna, but if not, the same too. Wing backs, same. Uh, this is where it gets interesting. So my initial thoughts was Christie, McGinn, Ferguson, McTominay, Dykes, and I'd leave out Bengan and Doak. Or if I wanted to try and shoehorn Doak in, I'd leave out Christie, but I think that makes it more awkward.
I think Dalt's undroppable. I don't
I
think you
think
can
he
drop.
is as well, but I don't know like how he works because I think the best way to play against Morocco is to have McTominay and Dykes.
Yeah,
McTominay just playing off of him, but I don't know how you fit Doak into that. That is my issue. I don't think we should drop Doak, but you see what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
it's
I think he'll play a four at the back, a four.
you think he'll play four?
I think he'll play four again. I just think he'll drop another midfielder in and leave. I think he'll leave Shea Adams up top over Lawrence Shankland, and that's based off the performances of Shea Adams being a little bit better than Shankland. But no, I think Lyndon Dykes will certainly have his part to play in these two games, and I thought he was excellent when he came on. He just sort of dealing with scraps, winning the flick-ons. I thought he was really good, as was Finlay Curtis, as you said, just so positive. And there was one chance he had if it was a better, but I think it might have been, was it Robertson or McGinn? I think it might have been John McGinn that if had given him a better pass, he would have had a real sort of scoring opportunity. But no, I think all of those subs that come on will have their part to play, whether that's a starting role or coming off of the bench. As still with now 18 and a half minutes of time to play, Spain have turned to the biggest of guns. Maybe not good to say where the football's being played, but if you know what I mean, the big gun
Have
in
you
terms
seen
of
have
Lamine.
you have you seen many weapons, Ethan?
No, not well. I've seen weapons on police officers, obviously, and sort of armed officers, but no, not out with that. Although they are on the banned list from the stadiums in case anybody was thinking of taking one in. Which
Oh, damn,
uh,
can I bring my gun to the football game?
if you want a bit of a laugh, I would read the what's banned from the World Cup stadiums list. It is very weird
Well,
and
give us another random one.
what was it? Was it a combustion engine? You're not allowed to take that
You're not allowed to. Oh, what? You're not allowed to bring in a combustion engine.
in. Yeah,
That's outrageous, man. Taking away and oh, the land of the free, taking away our freedoms and our combustion engines, absolutely crazy.
so yeah. Anyway, I know
Who's
it's just
who's
crazy.
brought a combustion engine before?
I don't know
Oh,
why. And
Spain nearly scored.
yeah, I just seen that, and I was going to say that still struggling, nothing each. Although they have turned the pace up a bit. Lamine Yamal's already looked more threatening than any of the Spain players did in the previous 73 minutes after coming off the bench. So yeah, I think Spain are probably going to score, and I'd imagine it to be the 18-year-old to be at the heart of it.
Yeah, yeah, we're the world's best. Um, but this is not certainly not been the world's best game. Cape Verde have been very, very good. The keeper's been very good as well, hasn't he? He's made some big saves. So yeah, I guess we'll see how this shakes out. But Morocco on Friday, Ethan,
Yeah.
you think he'll stick with a four? Do you want him to stick with a four?
Uh, Ye- Oh, it's a difficult one. I really don't know. I don't know. I just don't want him to play it, and I don't think he will. There's no chance, surely, he plays a 4-4-2 again. It just didn't work. We're playing against a better
We'll
team.
get cut open if we play a
Yeah,
4-4-2
no,
again.
I agree. I agree. I think he's certainly going to play. He's going to take a striker away, but where he puts that striker is the question. Does he
I
go
think
into the
I think we'll
defence?
go
Does
the
he go
four.
into the midfield?
I think we'll go the 4-2-3-1. We've played that before.
Yeah, I think so. A 4-2-3-1, or yeah, a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3. It's the same kind of thing, isn't it? and I think it'll be Christie that'll come in for Shankland. And I think Christie will possibly go out wide instead of John McGinn, or he'll keep John McGinn out wide, whatever. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
I think we've got good.
put Christie in that sort of 6/8 role.
Yeah, I would like to see him there and keep McGinn out wide, but I think he would maybe put Christie out wide in favour of putting John McGinn in the middle. But the both of them are able to play there. I think there's not much between them, but I think Ryan Christie's a good footballer and should be in our
That's
team, especially when we're
that's a
playing
big
against.
positive though. Sorry to cut you off again about our
Arsenal.
midfielders, isn't it? They're so all of
Yeah,
them are really versatile.
yeah, no, exactly that. They can all, all of them can do a shift anywhere really. Scott McTominay, I think, could play anywhere for Scotland, and has played
Well,
almost
he
everywhere.
has played. He's basically went from a centre back to a striker.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. John McGinn, very versatile. Ryan Christie the same. Lewis Ferguson less so, but I think he can play more advanced. But I think his strengths lie sitting in front of that defence. So no, I think the excellent thing is that we're speaking here about and debating the options that we've got, and I think we've got a really good squad going into these last two games. If they play to their best and are utilised to their best, because I don't think I think we were too negative for large parts of the game the other night, and I don't think we can afford to do that, especially against good sides like Morocco. Obviously, is the immediate
We
team.
need to contain what is it, Budadi? Is that how you say it?
Is that the young midfielder, the 18
Yeah,
year old? Yeah,
he won man of the match, didn't he?
yeah, he was
Oh,
excellent, and
sorry, superior player of the match.
yeah, superior player of the match. Yeah, that's right. That's what it's called.
I don't know
Yeah,
why did they have to throw in the word superior there?
I don't know. I don't know because it's not even the sponsor's not even superior. It's a beer or a lager. So I don't really know why that is.
Budweiser, is it not the World Cup sponsor?
I think that is one of the sponsors, but I don't think it is the sponsor for that award. I can't really remember the name of it to be honest. But yes,
Michelob Ultra.
yeah, I think that is it. I think that is the one. Yeah. Uh,
For some reason, that was the first American beer that came to mind.
yeah, I think that is the one that's sponsoring it.
Had
Oh,
any
straight
Michelob
come.
Ultras, Ethan?
What is it?
You had many Michelob Ultras.
Uh, I had a couple, actually. I have had a couple, but they're all right. Not the best, but they're okay. Nothing to write home about. Probably the fact that I didn't remember it says enough. But yeah, he's an excellent player. He was really impressive, and they expect big things for him. 18, he was meant to be their sort of new big player for this tournament, and he was excellent. Sort of one of those midfielders that's a sort of jack of all trades, like we spoke about with the Scotland players. And yeah, but Morocco have got some excellent players, and sometimes the stereotype is always around the sort of physicality of the African sides, but Morocco have a lot of sort of technical excellence and abundance throughout that squad, and you've seen that against Brazil. They're a really solid team. They've not got
I
as
mean, you've
many,
got the likes of, Brian Diaz, Said Barry,
yeah.
who tortured me for 2 years while he was at PSV.
Well, and how did they talk to you about a career mode?
No, Rangers.
Oh, oh yeah, of course when they played
Yeah,
against each other. Yeah,
seen him. Very, very good.
yeah. No, of course, just moved to Bayern Munich as well. He's already got his big money move before he's even chipping the Brazil goalkeeper. And yeah, I think that's an interesting sort of ploy from them to start him as the sort of nine. Obviously, not really a nine by trade, but yeah,
He's
he's an
got
excellent player.
he's got the physical attributes for it though, and he's obviously he's very, very technical.
Yeah, he's
He,
always been expected to go into really big things, Saibari, and I think they've not got the sort of biggest big names of of football at the World Cup, but they've got an excellent squad that plays so well. And I think, as I said at the top of the show, I think they were the better team against Brazil from what I've seen. And yeah, I think Scotland will be really hard pushed to get anything from the game. But we've got good players as well, and we just need to remember that we need to be confident about ourselves. We need to be confident in the team, and I think that's it. Belief. We need to believe that we're going to go and beat Morocco, and if we do that, then we'll certainly have a chance.
Absolutely, absolutely. So before we leave off, do you want to give a wee prediction for the Morocco game, Ethan? Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I think we backed Scotland to get second in our preview episode, which you can go and watch if you like. A wee bit outdated now that the Haiti match has been played, but if you would like to go and watch that or any of the other previews to get a bit more information on the groups, then please do so. They're on the YouTube channel and of course the Spotify. But oh yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's difficult to see past Morocco, but we've got to back the boys to get the job done. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Scotland to secure
Oh,
the
oh my
secure round of
God.
32 qualify.
Okay, okay. This is tough because well, you're probably sitting there wondering why is he stalling? He's no stranger to ridiculous predictions. But yeah, I'm just gonna copy you. I think that's the
Fair enough.
safest scoreline to go for. If you're
Fair
going for
enough.
a Scotland win, because I don't think I can't really see us keeping a clean sheet against this Morocco attack. But
Yeah,
two
and why?
goals,
Sorry, on you go. Keep going.
two
I'll cut
goals,
you off.
and I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna predict goal scorers as well. I'm gonna go Scott McTominay and John McGinn to get another goal.
I would have went with that, but that's the standard, isn't it? We can't go the standard scoreline and the standard scorers, Alex.
Fine.
Does it even? No, 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 no. If that's what you think, well,
No,
I
no,
think
no, no. I'll
I
switch.
know.
I'll switch up. Grant Hanley scoring with his backside in the
I
95th minute to give Scotland the win.
would take that right now in a heartbeat. Well, I think we're not really thinking. You can maybe speak for yourself, but I think we're voting with our hearts more than our heads with our predictions here, if we're being honest. But I think, yeah, I'd take any scorers. I'm not even going to give you two because I just take scoring two goals. I think we have a really good chance if we find the back of the net twice. But yeah, it's going to be a really tough game, and I can't wait for it. Hopefully, as I
Can
said,
I, can
the
I ask you a question that's actually been floated before we just finish off?
yes, of
I've
course.
actually debated this with myself, sort of internally. Is Morocco the harder game of the two?
Oh, it's a difficult one. I think they both pose their own challenges. I think Brazil have the more sort of elite talents of world football, but I think Morocco play better as a team. I think Brazil, you see, watching the game, and I didn't watch all of it, as I said, but I did watch large parts of it. They look like a Carlo Ancelotti team. They're not an excellent team. They don't look like they have sort of a really good sort of setup or tactics behind them. But they get the result. They have moments of brilliance. An excellent goal from Vinicius Junior, cutting in his right foot and absolutely smashed it past Yassine Bouna, who didn't really have time. It was by him before he even had time to try and make a save. So that's what we're going to be up against with Brazil. But I think Morocco are a well-oiled machine, which yeah, it's going to be difficult to interrupt.
See what you've just mentioned there about sort of Morocco playing well as a team. We've obviously spoken about their individuals. I'm going to say something that's going to, just because of personnel and the lack of team, maybe bonding and sort of style that you've suggested there. I'm going to say something that maybe sounds a bit insane. I think Brazil is a better matchup in terms of the front line to defend against than Morocco for Scotland.
um, oh, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can agree
Because
to that.
I think our centre backs, the Igor Thiago's like bread and butter. They'd love that.
He
Um,
wasn't in the game at all the other night. I mean, we've seen that with a lot of players. Kai Havertz scored two goals, wasn't in the game for Germany in their 7-1 win. It doesn't matter, and it never has mattered for Thiago since he's been at Brentford, and of course his excellent run last season. But yeah, he wasn't really in the game at all. So I don't know if Brazil go with the same team because is a draw with Morocco for sort of their standards as a nation good enough? I think Ancelotti will maybe change it up a bit, especially Thiago. I think Thiago will come out the team. But we've still got another game to play. They've got to play the difficult task of going up against the Haitians, like we found out before they play us. So hopefully a wee result there could go our way, but don't don't count on anything. I think we should just focus on ourselves. And
Yeah.
we've got a chance in these last two games, and that's all you could have asked for after the first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think that'll do it for today's episode of the Dugout Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you're enjoying the World Cup as much as we are. Make sure to like and subscribe. Ethan got the Spotify up and running again. If you want to go and listen to any of the group previews, they are all live as we have released this.
Yeah.
So we had to mash in the last one a little bit because we were running out of time before Ethan had to go to Boston. But make sure to go check all those out. Let us know what you think about Scotland's performance in the World Cup. So far, let us know how you think they will fare in the rest of the games. But the only takeaway from today's episode, I think, should be Scotland are top of a group with Brazil and Morocco in it. Goodbye.